I just saw this picture of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez together. You can tell, man, she loves that guy. She loves that guy so much. I think he still loves her. So they were at the premiere of Kiss of the Spider Woman. Ben Affleck actually is one of the producers. Most likely they probably started working on this while they were still together. And if you see them on the red carpet, she loves that guy. And it's like, what is the problem? But I think one of the problems is because I went on a deep dive. It's like, what is the issue here? So Ben is a very introspective, private person. He's always been this way. He was this way when they first got together. But he's been this way since he was a kid. So child of divorced parents, growing up, he said he always felt like he was insecure. He had esteem issues. So this is not a Jennifer Lopez thing or a Jennifer Garner thing. This is something that Ben always was. He's always been private, insecure, has some esteem issues. Gets to Hollywood, becomes a success, but then when these issues kicks in, now he's leaning on alcohol, so he had some addiction issues. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. But he does love the women that he's with. And I used to think that I love Jennifer Garner. I've loved Jennifer Garner since Alias. So when Ben and Jennifer Lopez first broke up, I could figure, and he got with Jennifer Garner. It's like, oh, well, Jennifer Garner's nice. She's good looking. She got a nice body on her, and she's more low key. She's not like J-Lo juggling all these things. Like Jennifer Garner's very low key, and that was back in the 2000s. And I think it worked back then because at that point, Affleck's career wasn't doing that well. Geely bombed, Daredevil bombed, the Bennifer thing bombed. He got with Jennifer Garner. They got married. They had a few kids, and he was probably at home. Probably unhappy that his career wasn't going well, but he was at home. He was steady. And Jennifer Garner's more of a homebody type person. He starts doing stuff like The Town, Gone Girl, and then all of a sudden his career takes off again, and now he's back being Ben again. And I think that's where him and Jennifer Lopez kind of match. Jennifer Lopez is busy all the time. All the time he's busy. Ben's busy too, but he's kind of busy one at a time, where Jennifer's spinning a lot of plates. But I think they both have that same kinetic energy that kind of draws them in. So I think in a lot of ways, Jennifer Garner was good for Ben in the 2000s when his career was kind of like down and he was at home. But once everything blew up again, I think he likes being busy too. And that's not really Jennifer Garner. Jennifer Garner is just a sweet chick who likes stability. So now we got Ben out here again. He got with Jennifer Lopez to get married. They seem happy, and then a couple years ago we saw them at this award show, and he looked horrible. He looked horrible, but I understand it. Like one of the things I used to hate is when people say, "Well, you need to go out there and network. You have to go to these functions," and I hated it. I'm the guy that would show up not late, but I would show up, shake some hands, and I'll be in the corner because I'm not good in functions like that. And I think Affleck's the same way. I saw him. I forget what he was promoting. He was promoting something earlier this year, I think. Earlier this year. And he was doing some podcasts. He was fantastic. He was last year or this year. He was on some podcasts. He was having a good time. He was in the Criterion Library, the Criterion Vault. Oh, it's fantastic. Talking about all his favorite movies. I think Ben, when he's in one-on-one situations or situations where he's talking about stuff that he's passionate about, like films and movies and entertainment or just life, I think he's great. But if you put him in a situation where he's at an event or he got an awards thing, I don't think he likes that. But Jennifer does. Like Jennifer Lopez just bright. She just lights up. That's her. That's her element. So I think for the both of them, I don't know if Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck should get married again. Because they're very much like Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor. If you don't know who they are, look them up. Because it's almost like the same type of relationship where you have two people who deeply love each other, but it's not going to work. Now, someone gave this point, and I think this might actually work if they ever got back together. Have their own residences. Have one residence that they share, but then there's a separate residence where if Ben needs to deal with some stuff, he can go to the separate house. Dennis Rodman said this years ago. He was like 20 years ago, he was saying how he has his house and down the street was his wife and his kids. Now, 20 years ago, you thought, well, that's just crazy. Why don't you be with your wife and your kids? But there seems to be a movement afoot in recent years where people have their own place and a separate place. Now, if you can afford it, a lot of people can't afford that. Or maybe they have a house big enough where you have your room together, but you need your space. So if you need your space, he or she have their separate room. I think in some couples, I think you need your space. Now, for Ben, I would say keep going to therapy. But you got to start meeting. If you get with Jennifer or anybody else, you got to learn how to communicate. He tends to, for what I've learned, withdraw, not argue, which is good. Arguing's not good. But he tends to withdraw and not engage. And I think it frustrated Jennifer Garner, and I think it frustrated Jennifer Lopez, where Ben was just disengaged. So if I was his friend, if I was Matt Damon, whomever, I would just say, hey man, listen, I get it, man. I get it. You're a private guy. You've always dealt with insecurity issues, and you tend to be insular. You tend to disengage. I do the same thing. I do. I always, I never ask for people for help unless I really need it. I always felt like I could do it on my own. I don't need any help. Let me figure this out. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But if you're in a relationship, you can't do this all the time. So if I was saying to him, like, listen, man, I get it, man. If sometimes you disengage, but do this. Disengage, but then come back and say, listen, I had to take some time off. I had to think this thing through. But if I want this thing to work, I know we have to talk. And it's going to be a little rough. I might not like what you say. But if I want to keep this thing going, I know I have to talk. And this is, like I said, it doesn't matter if it's General Garner, Jennifer Lopez, or Anna de Armas. Like, it doesn't matter who he's with now or in the future. None of his relationships is ever going to work unless he learns how to engage in communication. Hey, man, it's hard for me. It's so hard for me. Am I a lot better than I was? Yeah. But do I still have a lot to learn? Sure. And people say, oh, well, Ben Affleck, he's like 50-something years old. He should know better. No. If you've been this person ever since you were a kid, if you've always been a talkative, outgoing person since you were a kid, you're always going to be that person. If you're a shy person ever since you were a kid, you're still going to be shy. Your personality your personality changes a little bit as you get older, but basically who you were when you're like 14, 15 years old is kind of still who you are when you're in your 50s. Like, I think they might be the same age, because I think Jennifer's born in 1969. So she's either 56 now or will be 56. I forget how old Ben is, but he's around the same age. So yeah, even though he's in his 50s and he's been married a couple of times and got kids, at your core, he's still the kid with the divorced parents who kept to himself, who felt insecure. So what do you guys think? Do you want Ben and Jen to get back together? When you see this in these photos, you're just like, oh man, just work it out. Ain't nothing out here. Just work it out. Or you feel like, nah, man, they've done it twice already. And you don't want to see her, and you don't want to see Jennifer looking sad again. It's like, yeah. If I was Matt Damon, I would just say, if you want to make it work with Jennifer, you really gotta work on yourself. If you really want to make it work. And if not for Jennifer, with somebody else. But Ben Affleck will never have a meaningful relationship unless he learns how to engage. But what do you guys think? Do you think if they got back together, should they have separate homes? I think so. I think that might actually work. What do you think?